All right, we have a lot of ground to cover after the United States officially entered the war between Israel and Iran by striking 3 key facilities. I want to break down the fallout. I want to talk about Democrats who are mad, even some Republicans are mad, and I want to show you a video of this war being booed right as it's announced. As always, we have no time to waste, so make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and let's just start with this fundamental fact. This strike was needless. The word that keeps popping in my mind is unnecessary. It was unnecessary in the sense that Israel had already said they accomplished all of their objectives, yet Donald Trump decides to involve the United States. Trump performatively struck Iran, putting our lives at risk to achieve zero substantive objective whatsoever, and that's why it's needless. That's why it's unnecessary, and it also comes in stark contrast to his core promises. Listen to this clip of Trump on January 20th, meaning his inauguration day, explaining that he'll not get us into any new wars. We won't even need to worry about wars.
Like in 2017, we will again build the strongest military the world has ever seen. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into.
The wars we never get into, the endless wars that Donald Trump isn't strong enough to stand up for. Like, if Trump stood up for Ukraine, he could have actually been closer to solving this war, but he's digging himself in a deeper and deeper hole. And even Republican lawmakers are coming out saying, quote, "This is not constitutional." Republican lawmaker on U.S. bombs against Iran, Thomas Massie, came out and said, dude, these strikes would be unconstitutional. You have to go through Congress due to the War Powers Clause. What about this? AOC then immediately said Iran's strikes were clearly grounds for impeachment due to the illegal nature of them. Representative AOC, a New York Democrat, ripped President Donald Trump for his military attack against Iran on Saturday, saying the move is, quote, absolutely and clearly grounds for impeachment. Democrats are splintered on Trump's move to strike the Middle East country amid delays of back-and-forth strikes. Here's a nuanced position that is based in science and facts. You have this chart right here that was secured by the Institute for Science and International Security. This is a non-biased institution. They did a study about Iran's nuclear activity, and this is exactly what they found. In 2011, as it started to ramp up, Obama cut a deal called the JCPOA. The JCPOA deal, cut by Obama in 2015, ended up stopping all of Iran's nuclear development. Therefore, the Iran regime could not get a nuke and threaten other countries with destruction. And then, after Donald Trump withdrew the U.S. from the deal in 2018, if you're looking at this timeline right here, you can see Iran's nuclear enrichment begin to increase again, but not just increase, skyrocket at an exponential level. So if you want to have a fact-based opinion on this, this is all because of Donald Trump, his weakness, his inability to negotiate. And listen, there's always a Trump tweet for it. In 2013, Trump said, remember that I predicted a long time ago that Obama will attack Iran because of his inability to negotiate properly, not skilled. So a lot of people in the comments are going to be mad that I'm showing this chart, but this is from a non-biased international institute showing that Donald Trump caused Iran to escalate their nuclear enrichment. Now, should Trump have struck Iran? I also would say no. I think that stopping Iran from getting nukes is good, but you use diplomacy to do so. And again, when Trump struck Iran, he was doing so unnecessarily. That's the word I keep going back to. It was unnecessary. The odds of there being retaliatory attacks against U.S. troops stationed in the Middle East are pretty high, meaning Trump, for a performative stunt, ended up putting our troops in danger. I mean, we know he loves performative stunts. Let's look at the exact moment Bernie Sanders learns that Iran had been struck. The crowd begins to boo Trump and chant no new wars. It's simultaneously a grim moment, but also sort of a hopeful moment because you just listen to the crowd's reaction.
This is a statement from Donald Trump, quote, "We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran," etc. agree. And I want to tell you something. Not only is this news that I've just heard, the second alarming that all of you have just heard, but it is so grossly unconstitutional. All of you know that the only entity that can take this country to war is the U.S. Congress. The president does not have the right.
Yep, we researched this on the live stream yesterday. According to the War Powers Clause, Congress has to approve or start any war before the president gets to act. There are extreme outliers, but Congress always has to declare war. But to make matters more egregious, we then got a report that the Trump administration briefed top Republicans before the Iran strikes, but not Democrats. Just think about the double standard of expectations here. During the Biden era, anytime there was any movement in the Middle East or anytime anything happened with Europe or Russia and Ukraine, we briefed everybody equally, including top Republicans, because people need to know. The United States representatives and senators need to know to make informed decisions, yet Republicans don't reciprocate. We're playing by a rule book, the Democrats. We're playing by a rule book that they're not even playing by anymore. They just tore it up years ago. I don't know why we're still playing by it. That's why we need to punch back a little bit harder. President Donald Trump and his team were in contact with top congressional Republicans before his strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities, but top Democrats were not told of his plans until after the bombs had dropped. We also had top Republicans, celebrating on Twitter that this was done with zero leaks. Like, how is that a celebration? That's been the standard throughout all of American history. The fact that Pete Hegseth's dumbass didn't leak anything isn't a win. That should be the norm. But this is genuinely dangerous. The top two Republicans in Congress, House Speaker Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader Tom Thune, were both notified, but Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries received notifications shortly before the public announcement and after the attack itself, people familiar with the notification said. Senator Mark Warner, Representative Jim Hines, the top Democrats on the Senate and House Intelligence Committees were similarly not told until after the strikes had occurred. Honestly, you're hiding the information from the wrong people. You're telling me that you'll give this info to Pete Hegseth and Tulsi Gabbard, who Trump doesn't trust himself. Keep in mind, Trump has been freezing Pete Hegseth and Tulsi Gabbard out of the actual decision-making because he understands they are way too inexperienced, and he basically is admitting he just picked them to be on TV. Now, Pete Hegseth is about to give a press conference and Trump wants him back on TV, but Pete Hegseth has never been involved in the decision-making. Pete Hegseth is blocked out of the process, and now Donald Trump is locking out Democrats too. The point is, it's okay to lock out Pete Hegseth. He has repeatedly leaked information, but you should be telling people in Congress who can benefit from this information and make informed decisions. I'm going to leave it there. If you appreciate this, make sure you drop a like, subscribe. I love you all. See you in the next video. Peace out.